All right, let's talk the Xfinity series at Phoenix. So, only the Xfinity series and the Cup series this weekend. Again, we're going to be doing kind of an initial thoughts video, which I don't know what day you'll be watching this, but we're recording it Thursday. So you can watch it Friday, you can watch it before the race on Saturday. And then on Saturday, it's a pretty quick turnaround time with practice and qualifying. We'll try to get the picks video out, but just know if we can't get a picks video out, we'll still be posting our spreadsheet on Twitter, which is just at Fast Cars FM. For the Cup Series, we'll have enough time to get the picks, the final picks video out. So we'll at least have one more video coming in the week besides the previews. But just wanted to put that out there. If you were looking like, hey, where's the video? If you can't find it, we just didn't have enough time. But there's a couple other content providers that probably going to be doing live shows or posting spreadsheets on Twitter as well. But we'll have our own spreadsheet on Twitter that you can go access. So just wanted to mention that. But let's just talk about this video. So we're going to Phoenix. Phoenix is a short track. It's a mile in length, but if you look at most of the Cup or most of the tracks that NASCAR goes to, this is definitely on the shorter side of things. And the corners are relatively flat, so it races very similar to a short track. Like I just mentioned, it's a short window on Saturday, practice, qualifying, and boom, you're racing. So if you are busy on Saturday, just make sure you set like an alarm or something that you can get your lineups in after qualifying, because not everyone's going to make the race. It's probably just going to be some of the back marker cars that don't make it, but just be aware that not everyone's going to make the race. What we've seen so far this year is the JRM cars are pretty strong. So that's kind of where my initial interest is going to lay, is trying to roster some more of those JRM cars and maybe pairing them with some place differential or some good value plays. As we've seen with basically all the series, whether it's the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, or the Cup Series, there's just a lot of cautions. And the cautions take away, some of the dominator points because we're running laps under caution, but it also mixes up the slate a lot because drivers are able to stay on the lead lap. Drivers are getting their laps back. Drivers are taking advantage of these restarts, and it's usually cautions bring caution. So sometimes there's some unpredictability, I guess, when it comes to the cautions. But sometimes if you know they're coming, then maybe you can think twice about potentially rostering a guy. And the last thing, just the championship race is also here later in the season. So a lot of teams put a lot of focus and effort on running well here and really building out their notebook, because hopefully if they're, one of the final four teams that makes it to this championship race, they can really rely on kind of their notebook when they come back to race for that championship. So again, highlighted in blue, just without knowing practice, without knowing qualifying, just coming into the weekend, who are guys I'm interested in, or how do I potentially see a lineup being constructed? So for me, if you start at the top, like I said, I'm really high on the JRM cars. Allgaier has historically run really well here. He's the most expensive for a reason. I think he's going to be extremely popular, but feel confident rostering him. I definitely like to roster Allgaier at the smaller tracks that we go to. Phoenix has always historically been a good track for him, so feel really confident about Allgaier. So if you're paying up for Allgaier, it then gets a little difficult sometimes to get some other top plays in there. But we saw Josh Berry win a race at Martinsville last year. Like I said, Phoenix is a race that races like a short track, and he has a short track background. He's in a good car. He's consistently in this car week in and week out now, and I think he's going to have a really good run. So I'm really interested in him. Not that I'm not interested in Gregson or Gibbs or Allmendinger or Hemrick, and it could change. I mean, practice and qualifying might force you to play one of these guys if they're starting deep in the field and it's a slam dunk place differential play, or they're starting on the pole and it looks like they're going to lead, the early part of the race or something. But as of right now, I think Allgaier and Berry would be the two top guys I would start with my line, and then look at some potential good value plays from there. And I think some of those good value plays come from the kind of the 8K and the 9K range. Looks like I forgot a line right here. Not it's that big of a deal. Fix that real quick. We saw John Hunter Nemechek run this race, I think the championship race, and he was in the JGR 54 car, which is, the Ty Gibbs machine, or, basically the all-star car of, the 18 car this year, but he ran really well. The Sam Hunt car isn't as good, but if he can give you some place differential and give you maybe a top 8 finish or something like that, I think he is someone you should be interested in. Sam Mayer is another, short track, type of background. We've seen him win at Bristol, which is very difficult to do. Granted, it was in the Truck Series, but paying $8,700 for a JRM car, again, that's just initially, but very high on the JRM car. So I love Sam Mayer's price and value. Both the RCR cars have been pretty fast this year too, significantly faster than the Jordan Anderson car or the Art Motorsports, or even, SHR and Riley Herbst. They don't have a ton of experience when it comes to Phoenix, so I'm not crazy about them, but I feel more confident about Creed and Hill than I do about Snyder, Herbst, Alfredo, Burton, Moffitt, basically all the way down. So I think when it comes to lineup, I'm going to really focus on, maybe one or two guys from that 11 to 10K range, maybe trying to get two guys in the 8K range, or maybe a 7K range, unless there's a slam dunk place differential play. And then dropping down and hopefully grabbing, a 5K driver and, I guess maybe even two 5K drivers. I like Cascarella. I don't know if you'll be able to fit him in lineups. It just kind of depends on, the way that you're constructing your build and who maybe some of the chalky plays are and guys that you need to have as part of your core lineup. But again, if you pay up for the expensive guys, you need some scrubs in there as well. I'm always going to recommend Bailey Curry. I know he hasn't necessarily worked out every week, and maybe that pushes people off of him, but I just feel more confident in him. We always see him running well. It's just sometimes the issue is he's in the mix racing, and sometimes he can get into issues because of that. I didn't mean to highlight Josh Williams there. I'm going to unhighlight him. It actually would be feel a little bit better about Alex LeBay. Probably like Curry better, but I think LeBay at $6,000 is pretty cheap. And then from there, I'm really high on Jade Buford. Again, I know he's burned people and hasn't always worked out, but sometimes that's good because it just decreases his ownership. And I like Kyle Weatherman as well. So again, a lot of this can change, but initially looking into the week, I'm very high on JRM. Probably trying to get to 8K, maybe 2 10K drivers, and then if I can afford it, just shoving in a couple 5K guys, or messing my lineups accordingly. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with initial preview. We'll have our spreadsheet filled out, posted on Twitter on Saturday, and then we'll have our Cup preview video out right now, and then the Cups pick video, which is usually the one that does the best. We'll post that on Saturday after qualifying. So, yep, good luck, everybody.